pull it up on YouTube so that I can there we go. Oh, let's go back. There we go. Add a link into the
Here we go.
I don't know how to tell them.
Kelly, where are you at?
Me, I'm in Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay, what time is it there?
Midnight.
Oh, goodness.
It's fine. I'm a night owl, so it's okay.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, they found us.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
I'm making a post in Facebook right now.
Good idea. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. People always say like it's the afternoon, it's the evening, and I say to them it's morning somewhere in the world.
Right. Just like it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly.
It is 5 o'clock here.
Nice. Perfect.
Oh, you're an hour behind me. Where are you, Ellie Mae?
I'm outside of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice. Very cool.
All right. Hopefully everybody sees that. Hello, everyone. So what did you guys think of today's classes?
Oh, they were good. I enjoyed some of them. I don't know what everybody in the comments thought, but I thought they were great.
Well, someone said, Kelly, thank you for your quick response yesterday.
Oh, thank you. But ConvertKit was driving me nuts. My landing page changed. They removed the download file, so it was taking people to the login page, and then they removed the page where you can add in your details, and it was taking people just to the thank you page, and then they removed the download. Like, I changed nothing. So I was having to email people back furiously and quickly. So I'm just so grateful. Everybody
I
was
wonder
so
if it has
efficient.
something to do with their rebrand.
It
Maybe.
could. I was having issues today too, just trying to upload photos.
Well, at the very beginning of the promotion period, they marked my stuff as spam, so nobody was getting any of the emails for the event. So yeah, but I heard they tried to rebrand years ago and it did not go well.
Interesting. Well, let's see how it goes this time.
You're welcome, Beth. Beth already purchased her VIP, so I gave her my Design Magic course, which is a beginner's course for Adobe Illustrator.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good course. Sounds like something that I would need at some point as well. So maybe I'll be in touch when I decide to venture into the Illustrator world.
Maureen said she just uploaded her bingo card. I am not sure what I'm going to do about bingo because the rules and everything that I outlined on the page have not really been followed. So it's hard to choose a winner for a game when the instructions aren't understood.
Definitely. Hi, Carrie Ann.
Hi.
Thank you, Amy.
So I was on the other stream and there were people talking. Should we post?
Well, I tried. Are they still chatting? Because we were only on there for 6 seconds before I.
Yeah, because they were doing is my mic working? Is something wrong? Is it me?
Yeah, I want to delete it, but I feel like I should leave it there because I don't know how. Maybe I just edit the description.
Oh, maybe.
Technology is great until it's just not.
It's not. Oh, look at your cute earrings, Ellie Mae.
I wonder where I got those. Sublimation
They are
blanks
lovely.
from Craft Chameleon.
Are they now?
Ooh.
I need to order me some blanks.
They're actually Sublimation acrylic.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely need to,
Yep.
because I can make my own design and then cut it out with my laser cutter.
Mm.
Every time I cut an order for somebody, I think, oh, I should cut some extra. I want to make some, and then I never actually make any. But I'm going to. They're so cute.
I'm getting notifications from YouTube.
No, Terry, I'm surprisingly not exhausted. Even though I actually ended up only going to sleep at 2 a.m. last night. And I was up again at 8, but that's fine. I'm not tired yet. I can sleep on the weekend. It's also kind of the joy of working for yourself, like being in the industry that I'm in, or that we all are in. We can a lot of us can set our own hours and things like that. And so if I want to take some time off during the day, maybe I've got to go and pick up my new driver's license, which, yes, I have to do still. I can just, do that during the day and then work in the evening if I want to. So I can make time to be here with you guys. I can stay up until 2 a.m. with you guys and then just sleep in a little bit tomorrow morning. So
I had a friend when I was bartending, and she would always want me to hang out after a long shift. And I'd be like, I need to go home and go to sleep. And she'll tell me, you'll sleep when you die. So that's kind of how I feel like this job is. Like, I'll sleep when I die. But today I took a nap because it was rough. I could feel myself getting mean and frustrated. And so I was like, yeah, it's time. I'm like a toddler when I'm sleepy. I needed a nap.
Well, happy birthday, Alison. Good choice of spending your birthday watching videos. What better way to spend your
does a
birthday?
laser cutter take up? It just depends on the size you have. Like, my two bigger ones both live in the garage for two reasons: because they're massive, and because I need it. I don't have the window to vent it out, but my little Spark is about the width of a Cricut machine, like each way. So about 24 inches each way. And that one could easily sit on like a craft table and you can store it or whatever. But the bigger ones, I have them sitting on these wood things my husband made for me on wheels.
That's very useful.
I've only been able to watch a couple today. But
so Jackie asked about the acrylics and Sublimation acrylics. These are pretty thick. It's about what Carrie Ann is about
3 millimeter, 1/8 inch.
Yeah. So there's no way you can cut that with a Cricut or a Silhouette or a Caesar Juliet or anything like that.
You're gonna find some. I've seen blog posts and things that say you can cut up to an 1/8 inch. No.
I mean, technically you can.
I tried it.
But then you'll end up destroying your knife blade and you'll destroy your mat, and it's going to take you 50 passes to go through. So number one, how long is it going to take you to actually cut that?
And then you're still going to have to pop it out.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And
number two, like
easier to order it from a retailer like Craft Chameleon. Or
exactly, for a fraction of the price. And then because you're doing 50 passes, the chances of one of those, like the acrylic dislodging from the mat or whatever, or cutting askew, and you've done that on the 40th pass or something like that, and you got to start over it. No.
I think the Spark, I know it only cuts 1/8 inch, but you can't cut clear, or not 1/8 inch, 16. Is it 16? I don't know. I would have to look. It might be 1/8 inch.
16th sounds about right for the Spark because of the low wattage.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it is. And you can't cut white or clear, but it is a craft laser. So you just have to figure out some other colors.
I thought blue was also an issue.
Oh, blue is an issue. Blue, white, and clear, because it's a diode. And I don't know why, because I haven't done enough research to find out why diode lasers have trouble with clear, white, and blue. Something about the way the light bounces off of it.
Yeah, the refraction of the light. Yeah.
The thing that fascinated me is I thought like we have double-sided glitter acrylic, and so it looks like a solid color, but it's made with clear acrylic. It's a clear core, and so it won't cut that either. So I was glad,
Oh,
not that somebody had problems with it, but I saw a post where somebody was discussing it, and I was like, oh, I need to tell my customers
yeah.
if they have a
I didn't
diode,
even
this won't
think
work for
about
them
that.
either. Yep.
Probably the biggest thing with if you're looking to invest in a laser machine is that you need to look at each one and what their wattage is and what they can actually cut exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many people get into it trying to cut things like metal, and it doesn't work that way. So there's a lot of information out there. You just have to weed through it and find the right one for you.
I think my Omtech, I think it can cut up to half inch. And I think my X tool can do 3/4. Although I have this huge, like I said, I hyper focus and I buy all the things. So I have this huge sheet of, I love the MDF board from Home Depot for cutting with my laser. So I have this huge sheet of 3/4 inch MDF board because I'm like, okay, my Omtech's a 55. This one's a 50. I don't believe that it can cut this. So I'm going to try it, but I haven't yet.
I don't think I've cut anything a half inch thick.
No, I like the thicker pieces. There's a question that I saw.
From Teresa.
Download a design from someone that has Dropbox. Is there a way to download it into a program that you already have? If it comes up in a Dropbox folder, there should be a download button. You might have to click like the three dots to download, and then it should download to your computer or your device, and you should be able to open it wherever it's supposed to go.
Just make sure you unzip that folder if it's a
That's a
zipped folder.
file. Yeah. And if you go to Dropbox and you see that there's more than one file there and you click download, it'll download in a zip folder. So yeah, unzip it first.
And I suppose it also depends on the file type as well. If that program supports that particular file type, like
Yeah.
as an example, Photoshop files will come in a PSD format, and that won't be supported by Cricut Design Space, for example. So, I mean, if you're not sure what your software supports, then maybe you can always just Google the extension of the file type and then the program that you want to use it in, and then just type that one and that one, and then just type support. So then you can figure out what file types that particular program supports, and then you should be able to bring it in.
Let's see. Any more questions? Crafting is expensive, but it is also fun. I'm ready to get back to crafting more. It's been a lot more of the technical stuff and sitting in front of the computer, and I'm ready to get back to crafting more. So I told myself after this event, I am going to sit down and I'm going to take a couple days and I'm going to make a clear schedule and make sure that I have crafting in that schedule all the time, at least once or twice a week. Even if, while I'm crafting, I'm still I'm recording and doing the things. The crafting part is relaxing, and it's what I love to do. It's why I do this, why I started this.
I was thinking about that earlier too. There's so much of the techie stuff that is involved now that we kind of forget to keep doing the thing that got us here in the first place.
Right.
It brings the joy.
For
I
sure.
heard something said about 0.8 millimeter acrylic for sublimation. Can you cut that on the maker? I have engraved but not cut out on an entire piece. 8 millimeter is a quarter, right? No, that's bigger than a quarter.
Well,
0.8 is just under a centimeter. So
0.8, not 8. 0.8.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that one should be able to be cut, but it's still going to take a few passes to get through that acrylic.
Yeah, that would probably be the maximum of the thickness of acrylic that you would kind of I mean, I wouldn't necessarily recommend cutting acrylic on the maker regardless, but that would be the very, very end of the scale if you were to cut acrylic. And I don't know how many passes. I know that people have done blog posts and videos and things like that on YouTube about cutting acrylic on the maker, but personally, I really don't recommend.
I actually cut some that was just under an eighth. It's been a long time, but it took hours. It took hours. And I still had to like pop it a little bit.
Yeah.
Would sublimated image on sublimation acrylic withstand the sun without fading? Thinking about botanical markers for the garden.
No, because it's not the sublimation ink isn't UV rated.
Yeah.
So there are sprays that you can get for sublimation that are a UV coating. I would personally, because I know people, we even make garden stakes, whatever, but I had an experience when I worked for another company like 8 years ago, and they made a grave marker with sublimation because somebody told them that it's fine outside. And within months, it had disappeared. It was also on metal, so it heats up, it gases off, it's just gone. And so they do make a spray for it that's a UV protectant. I don't know how long, maybe a few years, I would guess. It's not going to be permanent. Don't do a grave marker.
My Spark is a 6 watt for comparison to my bigger lasers. The Spark is 6 watts, my X Tool is 50, and my Omtech is 55. So yeah, you're probably right, Ellie Mae is 16. I don't see it cut much bigger than that.
Sherry also asked earlier, my sublimation prints aren't printing the right size. I can't seem to get scale to fit. Does anyone know what I'm doing wrong on my Mac? Now, I don't have a Mac. I've got a Windows computer, but a lot of the printer settings, you might have it set to scale to page, or it might not be printing the actual size. So just look at the size of the page that you're printing and make sure that it's not scaling the print to fit the page, because that might be where it's going off.
Also,
that's normally where I have problems.
Yeah, in the program, sometimes if you're using pixels as opposed to inches, that'll kind of skew things a little bit. Like I've done it in like Photoshop.
Trying to read.
Anything you really, somebody asked about putting self-laminate film over it. There is UV rated laminate film, but it really just, even if it extends it a little bit, it doesn't extend it that much longer. I tried it. I tried it with sublimation inks and it faded. I live in Missouri. Our cars are outside. It just did not last long. You can always try it though. So you never know until you try it and see if it works for you.
Where's Angelo today? These are questions,
right? These are questions for Angelo.
He saw the questions coming and he was like, "Nope, not today."
Nope, not today.
Do you know if you can take some of Cricut information and use for Cameo? No, we were discussing this last night. I think we discussed it over the last 2 days. So that is why this summit is so important, and learning how to design in other programs other than Cricut Design Space is so important, because anything you create in Design Space stays in Design Space. You're not going to be able to take that design and take it over to Silhouette Studio, but in another program you may be able to download your SVG files and take it from one program to another. Maybe you're running a business, as a Cricut crafter, and you've created designs, but you've created them in Cricut Design Space, and now you need a plotter, and you can't use those designs anymore. Like, you have to recreate them. But if you just learn to create your own SVG files in design software, then you can take those designs from your Cricut machine all the way to your laser cutter.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like Val said as well, if you own the license to the elements that you're using, then you can take a screenshot. But like a lot of the programs, you'll be able to trace it in Silhouette Studio, but it's just an extra step to a lot of the things, and you might not get as much of the ease of elements and things like that that you would have out of the other programs as well. So while there are workarounds, it's just not ideal.
It's also against their terms of service to
Yeah.
take those screenshots or figure out a way to download it. All of that, anything you create inside Design Space stays in Design Space.
Yep.
But
For
if you
sure.
create your files outside of Design Space and import them, then you still have that file that you imported.
For sure.
I think it's Insult 54 says they take their Silhouette files into Xtool by screen printing the design and then tracing it. Works great.
Or if you have
I think they're saying that they take their files and convert them inside the Xtool software.
Right. So they're tracing their image, but if you had Business Edition, you could just save it as an SVG file. I guess it depends on if the Xtool takes an SVG file.
It does. However, now I'm going to have to figure out if you can export as an SVG from Creative Space. That's the Xtool software.
That's the Xtool software.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Silhouette Studio Business Edition, you can export as an SVG, which is what I do for my Glowforge. So you could do that, and you would probably end up with a higher quality cut into Xtool versus a trace. But again, I don't know anything about Xtool and how well it traces in their software. Just in general, when you trace something, it's going to add extra data to that file that's not really necessary.
Extra nodes and
yes.
Yeah, all the nodes. That's what I was somebody had mentioned they saw my video that I had done on it. So when I was saying that one of the benefits of learning how to do your own SVGs is cleaning up art that you get, because a lot of people sell art that all they did was trace it and load it, and now you've got something like the center of the A is all janky and jaggedy and whatever. I see it all the time. And taking these classes, now you're going to know how to fix that stuff.
Right.
There's a fly in here that is driving me crazy. So if you guys see me just like start swatting away,
I have one of those.
I apologize.
Mine sits on a stand. Is that the one that electrocutes him?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm like a ninja with this thing. I hate when I don't want dead flies all over the place. So I just take it right into the trash can.
If I had my way, I'd just crank the air up and put them all asleep and then start looking for them. Make them hibernate.
I'm not big on killing things, just so you know. It's just flies.
Killing the flies.
Joyce, Silhouette Studio Business Edition is practically constantly on sale. So if it's not currently on sale, wait like a week or two and just keep checking back, because it normally goes on for like $50, and especially around holidays and things like that. So maybe they'll have, a 4th of July sale coming up soon. Maybe they'll have a little bit of a discount then. I think they normally do.
Diana's abstract art paint pouring said, so after creating your own SVGs, where do you sell them? So if you wanted to sell them, there's Etsy, there's places like, I think, Creative Fabrica and Design Bundles both. There's a way for you to sell your things on there. You can set up your own funnels where you sell. That's a whole nother beast, though.
And the great thing about creating SVGs is you can take one design and then use it you can put it on a mug, or you can blow it up and put it on a sign. Like it can go as big as you want, whatever. You can all kinds of things with that one thing.
Wall decal all the way down to like a teeny tiny little keychain or even earrings. Yeah.
So it may take you time to design that one thing, or to sell it. you have so many uses for it after you do that one thing.
Yeah. You can even use that design in, collaboration with another design.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm such a hoarder with my designs. Like, I have 30 years of designs because I'm like, oh, I remember I made this flower 15 years ago that would look super cute in this.
So what did you say you used to do before you guys got
Me?
Craft Chameleon? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carrie Ann. I guess you can't see who I'm looking at.
Yeah, so before we accidentally got Craft Chameleon, we had a little craft store, just a retail store where we did classes and sold craft supplies, and I absolutely loved it. But we were like a mile or two away from Craft Chameleon, and they were retiring, and they were awesome people, and they've always had such a great following. So we had actually approached them to see if they would want to do classes like once a month or something at our store, because it's hard to walk away from something that you've done for so long. It was their baby.
Right.
And we thought nobody, people go downhill once they retire. This keeps them involved. Right.
Right.
Yeah. But, yeah. So somehow we ended up, because we sold a lot of the same things that they do, it just kind of transitioned into this. Well, we'll get this and we'll get this and we'll get this. And now we have Craft Chameleon.
The whole thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
For
I miss
all
people.
those looking for the Silhouette Studio Business Edition, I can get a link for you for $39.99, which is the best price right now.
Is that the one that's linked in with your supplies?
It is. It's linked in the class supply list for today's class with the creating SVGs with text in Silhouette Studio. Or it's if you email me, I put my email address in there. I can send you the link, but it's in this class supply list too.
Casey, we talked about Affinity a little bit yesterday. From my understanding, which give me a month or so, and I'm going to be able to tell you this for sure. It is very much like Adobe Illustrator, except it's a one-time fee. So I'm sure I'll be talking about it in an email or on a blog post or something very, very, very soon, because I keep saying it. I'm a sucker for a one-time fee.
That's a great program as well. I mean, I haven't been using it all that long, but I realized a little while ago that it has the pixel persona. So you can actually use so it's like the combination of Photoshop as well as, Silhouette Studio with the vector graphics and things like that. I was just like, so Affinity just got so much better for me.
Well, I Googled last night if you can inflate an Affinity, because that's my new thing. That's my new hyper focus. And you can. So that kind of sold me. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm buying it.
Interesting. Now I'm going to go Google inflating things in Affinity, because now I want to see what that looks like.
Well, my class was an inflated design.
Okay, I'll go to your class then, rather.
In Illustrator. Do I have it right here? I don't have it right here. It's my daughter's work cup now, but
amazing.
Ellie Mae, in last night's chat, somebody had asked about the best programs for engraving photos, and there was much discussion, but I'm pretty sure it's, and you can elaborate on it, that it's Silhouette, right?
It depends now. If you have it depends on how you want to engrave. So if you're engraving for a laser machine, that's completely different than if you're engraving for a cutting machine like the Cricut Maker or the Curio 1. Silhouette Curio 1 was the absolute best that I've ever seen. And it was a technique. I have a blog post out there on it on my website. But I link to Kay Hall's video on how to do the photos in Silhouette Studio. I've never found another way to do it. It is an amazing technique. But with the release of the Silhouette Curio 2, we do not have the same results. So that's why I say it really varies on what you are trying to do. So we're still working with that, but the Curio 2 was just released in October last year, announced in September at Summit, but it's different. It's a different machine. Everybody wants things to function always the same way, but every machine model is just a little bit different.
I've seen a lot of in K Hall's group, just tons and tons of these beautiful engravings that are done that people are using. They're making with their Cricut, but they're designing in studio.
I'm trying to fix the video thumbnail and get rid of that 6-second video real quick so it doesn't confuse people.
Yeah, I mean, Silhouette Studio still remains, when it comes to like designing things like that I'm going to be cutting SVGs and things like that, it'll always be my default, my go-to. As much as I love Affinity, I think that there's just things that I do easier in Silhouette that I can do in Affinity as well. So to have both of them is just like, you know, chef's kiss, kind of. You cover all your bases.
Yeah, just like this event that Jamila has put on that is amazing. You can see all these different programs. There's some programs are just better to do one thing versus another in them. You know, I know Cricut, it can bring in a PNG, or it used to be able to. I don't know about this recent update, but and it would just like
since then.
It would just magically like turn it into a cut file, or that's what it seemed like. That's not always the case in like Silhouette. You have to trace it, but you have more options than you do in Cricut Design Space. So every single program has its pluses and its minuses. I do agree that I love a one-time fee. That's great. But I also see the other side of the coin when you're a business and you have to have some sort of income coming in to be able to keep up with the technology and the staff, to pay the staff to run those programs or to keep those going. So it's one of those catch-22 things.
I hear a lot of people say that Illustrator is expensive. But if you're buying, you know, SVGs at, let's just say they're $2 a pop and you're buying 10 a month, you've paid for Adobe Illustrator. It's 22 something a month. So I kind of look at it that way, as well as if you're selling, it's going to pay for itself in no time. And now you have a new skill as well.
Yeah. And a lot of the skills that you'll learn in one program are completely transferable to another. Like a lot of the things remain very much the same. So it's just like I try and frame it in my mind. The neighborhood is the same. The addresses of everything, of every house, just changes.
Right.
So a lot of times you just got to figure out, okay, well, what's the new address to the new, I want to say Checkers, but Hobby Lobby, or the new, you know, Target or something like that. Where is the new Target in the new neighborhood? Oh, okay, it's around that corner as opposed to around this corner.
Right.
So it's just figuring out who is what and where is where.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the terminology might be a little different from program to program. Like CorelDRAW is nodes, and I had no idea what people were talking about, and it's points. But you know, I've always known it as points, but nodes and points, same thing.
Absolutely.
Teresa says, "What's my address again?"
Do we all need 3 Affinity software they offer? Do we need all 3? My brain read that like I don't know. No. But I can't imagine that you need all 3.
No, you really don't. I mean, Adobe Photo, Affinity Photo, I know a lot of people use it for photo editing and things like that. I do 99% of my work in Designer. So, I mean, you could probably go with just buying Designer. Publishers, if you want to make like a book or something like that, that works very well. Photos for more your finicky editing photo images. I haven't really worked with it too much, but Designer is probably where you'd be doing most of your work if you're going to be going towards creating SVGs and, you know, designing cut files and things like that. You'd probably spend the majority of your time in Designer. But it's you can also get so it's the desktop, the Mac, and then the iPad version on all 3. So you could buy like one house, or you can just buy for a Mac or for a Windows PC if you want as well.
So I Googled it. I am trying to figure out the price of just Affinity Designer right now. But it comes, I understand what she meant now, all three. It comes with Designer 2, Photo 2, and Publisher 2. And I would assume that the Publisher is probably like, what is it? Adobe InDesign, maybe? Like where you do the ebooks and stuff? I don't know. But that's $82.99 for all three. Or you can get the Mac version of Designer 2 for just $34.99. But it looks like it's just for a single device.
Carolyn Hawkins is asking if Corel Draw is free. It is not. It's subscription based, similar to why can't I think? Adobe Illustrator.
This 50% off is like...
Full disclosure, I bought it a couple of months ago and it was also 50% off. So I don't know if their 50% off is always 50% off. Like if it's always on special, is it actually on special?
Right. I was having some major FOMO.
I had FOMO too, and I went back 2 weeks later. It was still on special, and I'm like, check out. I think I also got a discount because I had Affinity Designer 1. So if you have the original one, make sure you log in and then have that allocated to your account so that you get a little bit more of a discount there as well.
How does it work when a program is a one-time fee, one-time purchase? Does it still update? Do you get all the new bells and whistles when they...
So my webinars, I host them on Webinar Kit, and I bought them for a one-time fee. And I bought them probably two or 3 years before I even started doing any webinars or classes or things like that. But it's grown a ton, and I've still gotten updates. Another thing I use, it's a marketing tool, an AI marketing tool. And hers was, when she first came out, it was a lifetime fee. Now she's charging like $6.99 for it or something crazy like that. Not crazy because it's 100% worth it, but it's grown so much. And all the updates, I've gotten all of the updates, access to all of the updates.
I think it depends on the program. You really need to look into it. Just, some of them, they will have so many updates that you can do until you have to purchase the next level.
Yeah, there's that too.
Silhouette Studio is currently, and it has been the entire time, it is a one-time fee, and you can have it active on up to 3 computers. Other software programs like Sure Cuts a Lot, Scal, there's different versions, but they just went to version 6, and you had to pay for that upgrade. If you had it previously, you could get it at a discount. So it just kind of depends on the program that you're looking at. And they can all vary. Jamila, can I put that link for the software up?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll put that in here.
And I also see a couple of people commenting on the fact that Serif or Affinity was bought by Canva. And there are a couple of people concerned that they're going over into a subscription model. There was a release made by, I don't know who it was in the company. I think it might have been the CEO of Affinity before it was sold, saying that they're not moving over to a subscription model for Affinity specifically. I'm sure what they will do at some point is they will introduce maybe a new product or like a pro version, and that will be subscription based. And I think he even mentioned that in his email, if I'm not mistaken. But the core features and everything that we have available to us now will still remain a one-time fee. They said that they want to make sure that it stays like that forever, or at least as far as they can have it. Who knows if they're going to stick to it? I don't think that they would stray from that because they know kind of what a good thing they have. But don't stress too much about it moving onto a paid thing at this point. At this point we don't know, but at this point it's not going to be. So that's always.
Do you remember that question that was we said was for Angelo? I think he's about to pop in.
Oh,
He's like, is live over for today?
It was the sublimation inks and UV, having it outside and how long it would last and if you could cover it and would it last longer.
Was it? I thought it was the one about the pages because you guys answered that one. About
but we didn't know if he had any updates.
Okay.
If there's been improvements to the,
I'm checking to see if he's hopping in now. And to leave and come back on a new window. Did you share it already, Ellie Mae?
I did.
Okay. I think we got all of it. Oh, Amy Butler says she paid $34 yesterday for just Affinity Designer 2 for Windows. And she can put it on 3 computers. That's good to know because I have a desk setup here. And then there's a desk setup here. Both have 2 Mac monitors or 2 monitors. And then there's my laptop for my bed office. But I'm going to, my girls are going to start working next to me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, they're 14 and 13. And they always want money. I'm like, let's go.
I've got chores. You want money?
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Oh, I didn't realize Procreate was only for iPad. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Adobe Illustrator has a free version where you can still draw with your pencil and stuff. I know it used to. It was for mobile though. It obviously didn't have as many features, but it was fun to play with. My understanding is that Create is part of Scal 6, which has more features. Create. Is that the one that they said is Creative Fabrica? The
Shortcuts.
Create is the software for the solo machine.
Okay.
And it's similar to, I think it's based off of the Shortcuts a lot and Scal, but it's not the same program.
I don't know. He might not make it. I think we're slowing down, so we probably gonna just wrap it up.
Nikki asked how much is Silhouette Studio Business Edition. Ellie Mae said she had a link that she was sharing for $39, I think you said?
Yep, $39.99.
$39.99.
And it's also in my class supplies list. So if you download that today, if you're on the free ticket, download all of that information. The
supplies list will stay open.
They'll stay open.
Yeah, okay. It'll just stay open and live on the site. So they're separate on a separate page than your presentations.
So then you can grab that at any point in time. And I have that linked in there for that code. And it's been that price for a while. I don't see him changing it. He is a Silhouette retailer.
I don't know anything about Kittle, Tiffany. Angie Holden taught, her class was Kittle. And I think Angelo has talked about Kittle a little bit too. Maybe he used Kittle some in his presentation. But yeah, I don't know much about it at all. I don't know anything about it at all.
It's a design software?
Yeah, I think it's a web-based. I haven't really, that would be a cool blog post, is a comparison of all the different design softwares and features that you have and features that you don't have and things like that.
I think Kittle's more aimed at like sublimation type designs.
Okay.
I think as far as
I think she did an SVG. I can't remember. Oh, there he is.
Well, there's his camera.
Yeah.
There he is.
It's dark.
Good morning.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. I think we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. Your camera is really dark today.
It's dark right now. Let's see what's going on.
Be careful when looking for Procreate software. I accidentally purchased and downloaded a light version, and it was singing. Oh, I thought they only had the light version for mobile. I guess not.
Yeah, I suppose it's also very much like the Cricut design space. A lot of people will go into the App Store and search for Cricut design space, and they'll find like hundreds of apps that people have tried to like impersonate the Cricut design space. It's maybe it's the same. I don't know if it's the same kind of thing.
I'm gonna go look right now.
Yeah, and they're all, a lot of them are paid for as well. Like you have to buy the app because obviously that's how they try and scam people out of money. I mean, I don't know. Maybe those apps are,
that's
allowing you to do designs or something.
Apple makes you give them a sign in so that they can review. And you think that they would pay more attention. There are.
I suppose it's one of the things if you're not in the industry and you don't know what the app is supposed to be or what it's trying to imitate, then you may not know. Hopefully, if people complain enough, they'll get them shut down and removed.
Good point. Yeah.
This one looks like just SVGs. It says in-app purchases, so they must be selling them. But it has very good reviews, 543 5-star, but there are a lot of them.
Interesting. I mean, I have no doubt that there might be good apps, but they're obviously trying to fool people into thinking that it's Cricut design space when it's not. So
there are a lot of scammers out there. It is ridiculous. One reason that Michael's and Joann's don't accept returns on machines anymore is like we had somebody who had returned a Silhouette Cameo box full of potatoes and then they didn't open the box at Michael's. Somebody else bought it and they got home and had a box of potatoes.
Oh, mad.
Yeah. Oh, so that is one reason retail stores don't take returns anymore on machines.
That is crazy.
Wow.
But I think we're going to wrap tonight up. You guys won't see us again until Sunday when we're going to take a couple days. It's been a long 3 days and we're going to take a few days before I close the cart on the VIP pass. So you guys have a couple of days to get the VIP pass at the special price before it goes up to the regular price of $99. And like I said, we'll close out the event on Sunday. His template offered Affinity. Like I keep getting sidetracked.
I just got sidetracked by whoever said I like potatoes, but seriously,
I like potatoes too.
Well.
I do too.
I mean, who doesn't? It's the best vegetable.
It is.
It is.
Every other vegetable wishes it was a potato.
It's true.
But I just
any way you cook it, I like it.
Yeah. I just dropped the link to the VIP pass at the special pricing into the comments. And we are going to see you guys on Sunday.
Jamila,
thank you for joining, everybody.
Winners.
All right. Bye,
no, not tonight.
Okay.
There won't. Yeah, we'll talk about the giveaway winners on Sunday. All of those will close tonight at midnight, and then we'll discuss, or I'll announce the names that I have from the different designers on Sunday.
Angelo, do you see Terry S.'s question about your file?
It was cut off. The question is cut off.
They want to be able to save the Affinity file as an SVG because if you don't have Affinity, you can't use the file.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it an Affinity file?
I'll go ahead and export it today or save it today as an SVG, and I'll upload it onto my website. And then once I upload it, I'll automatically send out a link to everybody, letting everybody know, hey, is a new file available. And then when they click in there, they'll have the choice to either download the Affinity or the SVG version.
Amazing.
So I'll have that updated. Give me about 30 minutes to an hour after this call, and everybody should receive an email.
And Angelo, another question that we discussed before you got on. Do you know if there's been any improvements to the UV stability for Sublimation ink?
As of now, no, it's still the same.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. We can't see you, but we're thanking you.
No worries.
We're all waving at
figure out my
you.
camera and all that stuff that's going on. So yeah.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye,
Jen.
everybody.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.